Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GAA. Today myself and Luke are going to be giving our review of the Dublin versus Antrim game in the Allianz Hurling League Round 2. It finished Dublin 2-19, Antrim 2-15. Dublin picking up their first win of the league campaign after their opening day draw at Waterford in Parnell Park. They go away to Antrim in tough conditions. A strong wind was in this game. Dublin held their nerve and come out with a 4-point victory against an Antrim side that were very competitive throughout. Neil McManus looked absolutely fantastic throughout the entire game for Antrim. He scored 2 goals and 7 points, but Dublin see out the game, see out the victory, and yeah, good win for the Dubs.
Yeah, look, and I think just first of all to mention kind of the circumstances that they went up there were really tough circumstances with on the bus on the way up when Matty Kenny was notified anyway the sad passing of his mother. That look, I think it kind of overshadowed the game largely for most people kind of, and just I suppose for the Dubs must have been very, very difficult for the players and everything as well after hearing that news on the bus on the way up. For them to kind of put in that performance and to play the way they did and get a result up in what is probably the toughest place to play, I think, in Ireland, and like with the drive and everything up there. And the conditions all seem to be tough, and it's just Antrim really, really strong at home. So for Dublin to grind out a win there, huge positives. And look, it shows I think there's a bit of resilience about this squad. And look, I think they have to be very, very happy with it. And look, they keep building momentum. And look, they survived an absolute all-time test, I think, from Antrim really in this one. So great result for the Dubs.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, you said it perfectly there. Our thoughts and prayers are with Maddie and his family, and yeah, may she rest in peace. That's really awful, So, Maddie, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. And yeah, may she rest in peace. For the game itself, Dublin looked really good in phases. They looked a bit irrational as well in phases. They hit 5 wides in a row at one point, but then they also hit 5 points in a row. They had stages where they were really dominant over Antrim. But, I think one of the key moments was Keelan Molloy had a goal chance. I mean, well set up. It was not that long after Donald Burke's penalty levelled it at a goal and 8 each, but then Keelan Molloy got a goal chance, brilliantly saved by Alan Nolan. I think that could have potentially been a turning point if that had gone in.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I think as well, just to mention, the 2 penalties, both probably soft. Both probably shouldn't have really been given as penalties, I think. So they probably cancelled each other out a bit. But so, yeah, I think that was a key point in fairness. And look, I think it was a game where Antrim, they were riding it all the way. And then in the second half, I think Dublin's maybe just the fitness showed a little bit more. But I think just briefly from a Dublin perspective, I think maybe the slight concern, I think, is still like the inside forward line. I think a lot of people are looking at the club championship in Dublin and looking at the tallies that Ronan Hayes has put up for Crokes all year, and then hoping that he's going to replicate that club form at county level. It just, in the first 2 games now, it just hasn't quite happened yet. He scored a point the first day, scoreless this week. So, I think from a Dublin perspective, it's really important that he kind of gets up and running. And then look beside him, if they can get Eamon Dillon back fully fit, he looks very, very sharp when he came on. So, I think the big thing for Dublin is to try and unearth that kind of player in the full forward line that's going to be a consistent scorer. And if they, like, with the way they play, with the 2 lads inside, they need to be getting scores from there, because further out the field, I don't think they've anything to worry about. I think from numbers 1 to 12, I think they're really, really strong. They just need to find those forwards, and then I think they can fully compete for a Leinster title.
Yeah, I completely agree. And obviously in our league preview, you were talking about Antrim and Laois, and obviously that game was going to be really important for who goes down. Antrim have looked pretty good in their first 2 games. I mean, they brought Kilkenny right to the wire, and obviously they gave Dublin one hell of a game. Do you see them in a better place now than Laois? Yeah,
look, absolutely. I think after the weekend, I would have thought that Laois, considering how they put it up to Tipperary week 1 and everything, I thought they looked to be in a good spot as well. But I think based off the Waterford result there at the weekend, like, you'd have to be fancying Antrim. I think Antrim kind of, they all seem to, based off last year, they seem to be able to be really sharp for this competition, and they've consistently put it up to teams in the league. We know what happened in the championship last year, that Laois did beat them in the championship, and Laois improved as the year went on. And while I'd probably expect that to happen later in the year, I think Laois will be a better team in a few months' time. I just think Antrim seem to always kind of peak around this time of year. and they really, really target this competition. So I think they're going to be absolutely determined to stay in Division 1, and I'd be expecting Antrim to probably beat Laois right now.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I feel like Antrim in a really good place when it comes to the league. I mean, the form of Neil McManus in that game, he's an absolute terrifying player when he's on that level. Connor Johnson as well looked pretty sharp as well. They've some very, very talented forwards, and then obviously they've likes of Keelan Malloy, Paddy Burke. So yeah, Antrim are in a good spot, and I can't wait to see them face off with Laois. I think that game would be absolutely fantastic because no doubt Laois will up their game. But for Dublin, I mean, the only way is up, and I think this is as good a chance for Dublin to win the Leinster Championship that I've seen for a long time. They look like they're really becoming the finished article of a team because, I mean, that spine, O'Donnell, and I wonder will Liam Rush go back into centre back. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Chris Crummy at midfield is a move that I like. I mean, his athleticism, his height, his power, his pace. Like, he's a fantastic hurler. Him at midfield, I like it. And yeah, it's very interesting to see this Dublin team taking shape, and it'll be interesting to see if Ronan Hayes can hit the absolute peak that he did hit for Crokes in Championship for Dublin. It'd be fascinating to watch how it all turns out, especially with seeing how well Wexford are moving, how well Galway are moving, and Kilkenny obviously going through a little bit of a transition phase. So it'd be interesting to see how it goes. But Dublin getting the victory today against Antrim, 219 to 215. They get the job done. So guys, that is the Play On GAA match review of Dublin versus Antrim. Don't forget to look at all of their content of the weekend's action, and take care.